Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update. My name is Rebecca.meisl. Thank you so much for joining me. We have another real jam-packed week that's coming through for us as we continue to move ever forward into Pisces season. And I'm very excited to dive into what themes have channeled for us and what guidance our angels and our guides and spirit team have been really coming forward with as we step further and further into our personal truth and really start digging deep beneath the surface to see what we need to remove, what needs to shift, what needs to change, what we still need healing and guidance surrounding this week. So let's deep dive into that. So our first theme is a little bit more of a deeper theme, which is all about clearing the heaviness of life to return to our joy. So this week, we might very well have a bit of a carryover from last week where we're really deep diving into our healing journey. And what's really coming through is this resistance that a lot of us have had when it comes to facing our shadows and when it comes to really going to the depths and really getting honest about how we're really feeling. And so this week we've been getting a lot about, I'm hearing almost like this lack of motivation. We might be feeling that way. We might be feeling sluggish. We might be feeling tired, almost like in the bones, where it's just like, I just can't seem to get my energy going. I can't seem to have this get up and go and this zest for life that I'm really trying to cultivate. And a lot of us might be struggling with this real development of joy and ease and grace. And I'm finding some of us are having a bit of confusion surrounding that. So what's really coming through is we need to get clear. So once more, we need to find the truth here. What heaviness am I feeling right now? What is making me feel like I'm exerting a lot of effort just to get the basic necessities done? Or what is making me feel like I'm dragging my feet? Or why am I facing resistance when it comes to my dreams, when it comes to my joy, when it comes to ease and grace, right? So what was coming through was to ask ourselves, what was revealed this past week? Okay, so for a lot of us, once more, we were being called to face a lot of our illusions for life. So what was coming up for you? And how can you step into this vessel of love? Okay, so what came through is, how can you be a channel of love? How can you shed the past to create a new future? Release the burden in your bones. Extract the weight from the marrow. It's time to strengthen and reinforce the goodness in your life now. Okay? So this was super interesting how once more we might have this resistance, and that's what I'm really feeling. It's almost like an uphill battle energy that I'm feeling right now. So we might very well be feeling this. We might very well have some flashbacks of our past. We might have some wound healing that's going to be coming up for us. And once more, it's very important that we listen to the cycles and rhythms of even our physical bodies. This week is a very strong theme that we'll talk about a little later, but really important for us to get in touch. Like, why am I feeling unmotivated right now? Why am I feeling tired, heavy, right? These are the things we need to address and recognize that this is a cycle for us to shed. This is, when we look at our zodiacs, Pisces is the final sign. So with that, we're getting a lot of finality this Pisces season. We're getting a lot of closure this Pisces season that is helping us bring things full circle. So once more, don't be surprised if some of this comes up for you. So one of the ways that was coming through specifically was this energy of comparing ourselves. So this is a very common one that a lot of us struggle with, especially when it comes to our self-worth and especially when it comes to pursuit of our dreams. A lot of us are still struggling with that story that we're not good enough. Okay, so what came through was comparison is the thief of joy. Where are you still not good enough for yourself? Stop being presumptuous and projecting judgments upon yourself that really do not exist. Okay, this was so fascinating. So they are calling us out a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of work with the heart chakra this week, absolutely, because we're really getting exposed these areas in our lives that we are comparing ourselves. We are comparing our journey to another person's journey. And a lot of us are even being so presumptuous to go ahead and say, well, these people are going to judge me. And this was super interesting. So they were kind of going like, you don't actually know that. You don't actually have that as a valid truth. This is simply your insecurity that you are projecting. This is your personal judgment against yourself that you are projecting to others to assume that they are going to judge you the way you judge yourself. And this is not accurate. This is not truth. And even if it is, where do we need to become so strong within ourselves that we no longer worry about those projections? We no longer worry about what other people think of us, what other people are doing. And they're really making this very, very clear. What other people are doing, what other people are thinking and feeling is none of your business. How they view you is none of your business. That is not your concern. You are not here to be like everybody else. You are not here to do what you do like everyone else. So stop trying. Let go. And they're really clarifying this. Give up. Give up trying to align yourself to what everyone else is doing. That is not your path. That is not your truth. Stop it. Okay, they're being very, very stern here. Stop it. Stop grasping at what is not your truth, what is not integrous to you. That is not your path. So no wonder you're hurting yourself. No wonder you're in pain because you're trying to do things the way everyone else does. And maybe it's not working for you for a reason. Okay, so they're actually bringing this awareness of jealousy and envy. Where are we in jealousy or envy when it comes to others who are freely pursuing their dreams, who are freely acting on what they're doing? And they're also bringing this awareness to social media of where we see a very certain light of people's success. And they're like, remember, question everything. That is like the spotlight, the highlight reel is what we see. We don't see the time, the effort, the shifts, the changes that people have had to do to get to where they are. So it's very ridiculous of us to try to compare our journeys to a highlight reel that really isn't reality. So they're almost giving us this moment to mentally check ourselves and go, okay, where am I being presumptuous? Where am I forecasting a certain judgment and perception that's not really true? Okay, so whether we are comparing ourselves in our journey, whether we are jealous or envious of others and where they are in their lives and their seeming success, or whether we are forecasting judgment in the sense of these people are going to judge me this way if I come out into the light. If I step into my truth and into my greatness, people will judge me. People will do this. People will do that. Where are you forecasting failure before you've even begun? Okay, this is not healthy for you. This is hurting you, and this is hindering your unique journey. And in essence, your purpose here. Stop hindering your purpose. Your purpose is joy. Your purpose is love. Your purpose is your authenticity. So stop grasping at what is not meant to be yours. Start working and focusing your energy where it is meant to be, where you are meant to focus, and do not turn your attention the other way. So I'm seeing like the blinders being put on, and we see that with horses, those little blinders that really ensure that the horse can only look in one direction. And that's exactly what they're showing me. It's like, focus your direction. Focus on where you're looking and where you're placing your attention. And really ensure this week that it is where it needs to be. It needs to be on yourself. It needs to be on your explicit journey. And really making sure we are following through and taking the steps necessary to really live a path that is authentic, that is integrous, okay? And really call yourself out where you are projecting judgment. So what came through here was forecast of the future, okay? So if you stay on the current road you're on, if you continue this path of self-judgment and comparison, what is your life going to look like down the road? What is your future going to be? Okay, so this is where they're like, you have to be extremely self-aware this week. Where is my energy going? Where is it projecting? And where is it manifesting? Okay, so if you were to stay on the exact road you're on right now, right where you are in your journey, what is your future going to be manifesting as? Okay, once again, extreme self-awareness is needed. Is that future what you would want it to be? Is this future a place where you are still filled with doubt? Where you doubt your abilities? Or do you want your future to be one of self-confidence? One where you are fully standing in your truth? Okay? We have to once again be very mindful of where we actually are and where we want to be, and see that difference. What has to shift? What has to change so I can create this future that is loving for me, that is valuing me, a future that nurtures me, that makes me feel safe, right? So write a list this week. What is it that I want my future to really be? And where am I now? What needs to shift to create that future, to manifest my dreams and desires? And this is where the inner work is going to really be required, because as we make the inner shifts, this is what creates the external shifts. This is when we start seeing the shift in our reality, our 3D experience, because it is always a mirror of what we really feel inside. Okay, so our outward world, what we have created, we've created it. And this is where extreme awareness and responsibility is coming in. And we think of this Aquarian age that we are stepping into. Aquarius requires us to step up and lead and be in our authentic truth, to go against the grain. And this means extreme honesty. This is going to require us to really take responsibility and ownership of our lives and what we've created. And with that, once more, we're getting called out on any areas that we are not in alignment. So once more, it might not be flattering sometimes. It might make us feel like, oh my gosh, that actually bruised my ego to recognize, or I have created this for myself. But this is what's also empowering, is we have the power to change it. So what I'm really hearing this week is take a very hard look at what you've currently manifested for your life. And if something is amiss, if something is a problem, if something is not loving and supportive of you, take a look at yourself. Take a look at that inside and go, where have I said that that's what I deserve? That's what I needed to create to punish myself, right? Look at those areas, because they're going to be very revealing. So what channeled next? Remove the shadow that casts despair over your life. You are not living that life anymore. So this is very strong. A lot of us are getting illumination to where we're still hurting, where we're still in despair, where we're still feeling heavy and weighted in our lives. And for the most part, it's like the past. That's what they're showing me. It's like our pasts that have been draped over our shoulders, and that burden that's just weighing us down. Okay? A lot of us have not realized that we've changed our lives. We're not accepting that we've left that reality. And a lot of us are grappling with that. We're like, wow, I still can't believe I'm living a new life. And a lot of us are still acting like we're in our old one. Okay? But this is not the truth. Once more, we're getting a wake-up call this week to reality. You're not in that reality anymore. You're not the person you were in your past. Stop acting like it. So what is shifting is we're getting the tough love. It's like, okay, we need to get this shifting so we can really propel this new reality. So what shadows are still casting despair over your life? Where do you need to recognize that that is no longer your reality? So what came through next was this very large theme of loss and grief. Okay, so this week we're going to be really experiencing that despair. For a lot of us, we're going to be feeling those deep feelings of what is coming to closure. Okay, and this is where we need to once more now get in touch with the compassion. So we're going to get this wake-up call where we're going to have a little tough love, and it might bruise our egos a little bit. It might make us feel uncomfortable. It might make us want to retreat and be in hermit mode. But that being said, the truth is going to set us free. So when we get this awareness, we have to start dropping into the heart. Okay, I can own that this happened. I can own that mistakes were made, or I can own where I'm still hurting, but now I need to shift the way I address my hurt. Okay, so we're going to be learning how to now navigate our hurt, our pain, our grief, and our pasts, and that mourning period, and giving ourselves the grace and love that we need to have. Okay, the support that we need to have. And this is once more, it's retraining ourselves to the ways of love. And this is what's so beautiful. So what came through was this awareness to coping with loss. So what is your defense mechanism? This was super interesting. Where is your body and mind quick to protect you from the truth? Many of us are afraid to face our shadows, our pain. But where do you need to befriend it? Allow for peace and call a truce with your pain. It's time to stop resisting and denying its existence, as it's right here with you, real and alive. So where do you need to find the balance between the darkness and the light? So this was very fascinating. So as we move through this theme of loss, however this comes up for you, okay, this might be loss in the change of our lives, right? It might be loss of a relationship. It might be loss of a job or our old reality and way of life, okay? But what they're showing me is this loss happened, and a lot of us only somewhat processed it. So what happens is the ego comes in. We go into survival mode. How can I now move on? How can I hurry this process? How can I skip over the pain? Because I need to live my life. I need to move forward. Okay, this is a big coping mechanism that a lot of us develop when we go through hardship. How can I get through the pain as quickly as possible? Because guess what? None of us want to be in pain. None of us want to actually feel what we need to feel sometimes, which is sadness, which is sorrow, which is that mourning that we need to go through. And we have denied ourselves that gift of really just processing everything we need to process. We try to skip over it. We try to ignore it. But in fact, that only really keeps that pain longer and creates manifestations of illness, of sickness, of all these other things in our external reality, in our physical bodies, that only holds us back from really, truly healing. So what I'm hearing is, how do you want to heal now? Do you want to continue to propel your pain? Do you want to continue denying its existence until it grows so loud that you can't ignore it anymore? Do you really want to put off this experience to only face it again later in a way that will not be convenient for you? So what I'm hearing is, we have to be real. We have to be honest about what we're still hurting over, what we are still grieving, and where we've actually sabotaged that process, where we've said it's too hard, it's too much, I can't face this. Where do we need to have the empowerment necessary to really grieve? Okay? So once more, this might not be your fault. It's a natural process. We try to switch off our emotions to get through, right? But where do we need to go to that source? And I love how they put this. It's like, where do we need to befriend our pain? Okay? Excuse me. Where do we need to befriend it? So stopping the denial. Pain is going to be a part of my life. Sorrow will be a part of my journey here on earth. It's an experience that all of us will have. So how can I stop ignoring it and deal with it in a loving and compassionate way? So I'm really hearing we are finding balance, okay? So what came through was practice feeling, not changing, not negating, not bypassing how you feel, okay? So practice feeling, not changing, not negating, not bypassing your hurt or sorrow. But don't let it victimize you. So this was super interesting because once more, we're getting this huge indication of balance, okay? How can we balance our emotions? How can we live life where we befriend our shadows, where we are no longer in denial or living an illusion that's not real? Okay, so when hardship comes up, we know how to traverse it in a loving and kind way. So we need to honor how we feel. We need to create a space of acceptance and allow ourselves to be honest, okay? But then we're not going to be a victim to our emotions anymore. And this is very powerful because a lot of times we can actually cling to our pasts and our hurts and our sorrows and allow that to shape our lives. I'm not going to move forward because I was so hurt by so-and-so in the past. So I'm going to deny myself from a healthy, beautiful relationship because this one relationship hurt me. We see this a lot, okay? And it's a fear of being hurt, but that holds you back, right? So what channeled is, you are here to feel and to experience so much more than just pain and suffering. So remember that all has its place. Do not let the past control you, your pain to cripple. Feel and then move forward. You're not meant to stay in your pain forever. So grieve. Give yourself patience and grace, but know when it is time to truly live. Okay, this was absolutely phenomenal, okay? Because this is helping us really understand and once again take responsibility for our lives and our experiences. So once we get this awareness to our hidden pain, once we get awareness to where we need to take responsibility and feel and work through those emotions, we're really getting this strong advice to once again get a proper perspective. Okay, I'm going to befriend my pain. I'm going to befriend my past. I'm not going to let it victimize me anymore. I'm not going to let my past stunt my forward growth and movement. Okay, so feel how you need to feel. Let yourself truly grieve the past. Give closure to yourself. Okay. And then we need to give ourselves that patience and grace. But I love this last statement, but know when it is time to live. Okay? Living. What does living really mean to you? For a lot of us, it's freedom. It's allowing ourselves to participate in joy in what lights us up, in pursuing our dreams, in pursuing what we know we rightly deserve to experience. So once again, where have we allowed the experiences of the past, the hurts of the past, to dictate how we're living life? And if we stay on that path, are we truly living? Right? So know when it's time to let go. So we move forward into another theme now, which is gaining the proper views and perspectives of death. And this is super interesting considering we are in this Pisces season, which is all about closure right now, this last zodiac sign before we start all over again. And really this signifies the official astrological ending of the year. And Aries will then be that new astrological year. So with that, it's very natural that these energies of closure and closing off cycles, this is going to make us think about this. So death, okay? Does death scare you? And where do you need to befriend your own mortality? So interesting. Get more information. Seek out and see what resonates with your own soul. Do not believe in just what people have told you. It's time to put more stock into your own intuitive feeling. Seek out truth, and it shall be found. And it shall be found gratefully. Set intentions and watch and see. Ask and you shall receive. This was so fascinating. So a lot of us, we might have those questions. Well, what happens when we die? I've heard many different interpretations. I've learned many different belief systems. Perhaps we were raised with very set belief systems on what happens, what that experience is. Okay. But what I love about this was, does death scare you? Okay. Because almost all of us are afraid to die. And what I'm hearing for us this week is, how can we remove that fear of death? How can we start really understanding that experience and what that transition actually is? And for a lot of us, they are encouraging us to go within and ask those questions, to ask the universe those questions that you have to gain the clarity you need. And this will once more set you free. How do you need to be set free of the fear of death? How do you need to be set free of perhaps the pain of lost loved ones? Ask the universe to reveal to you what you need to know. Be specific, and this is what I love about the universe. The moment we give the universe permission to share with us, to show us, it will happen. And it's going to come through in a way that you personally can understand it and resonate with it. And if you're worried about that, state it. Thank you, universe, for helping me understand what I need to know in a way that resonates with my personal truth, in a way that I can truly wrap my head around this experience. Word it however feels good for you. But what I'm really hearing is a lot of us need to be set free and get a proper perspective on what that journey is, to free ourselves of unnecessary suffering and pain and fear. So seek out the truth and let it be found. And I love that it's like, it will be found gratefully. The universe is grateful to free you. It wants to free you. It wants you to feel freedom from all of these things in your life. It wants you to free yourself. It wants you to know the truth. And sometimes that takes courage to step outside of what you've only known, to step outside of the conditioning you've had perhaps your whole life, and to question. That is incredibly brave. And the universe wants you to know that it thinks the world of you for being willing to explore your personal truth in a world where that is not encouraged. So really take pride in yourself for facing these truths this week and taking that control, taking your power back from anything that is hindering you from really living a love-based life. So what came through was this beautiful theme next, which was learning how to be at peace with your authentic self. So once more, this is hard for a lot of us to do when we are very much of a hive mind, collective society. We're told all the time what we should believe, who we should be, what we need to look like, how we need to take actions. We're given over and over again a specialized formula for life. And if any of us step outside of that formula, well, we're the weird ones. We're the black sheep. We're the people that are rejected or shunned. So what's coming through is this awareness of, once again, how we can be at peace with that. How we can be at peace with being our truest extent of self, even if people do reject and judge, right? But what was so beautiful was this awareness of prioritizing your well-being over all. So this can go super deep, and just due to time constraints of the reading, I'm going to let you guys explore this on your own. So I really recommend this week, go into these questions, like journal out where we need to be more at peace with ourselves. Okay, but they gave me this one specific theme, which interestingly enough had to do with our health. Okay, so what channel? Prioritize well-being over all. Wellness and health beseech you now. What needs to change? How do you need to be true to you in these matters? What way of healing calls to you most? use all your senses. You know which way to go. Now, this is super fascinating. So for a lot of us, we might actually have some health issues that have been rearing their heads lately. And what was so interesting is they wanted to show us the specific light and where we need to be authentic and true to ourselves when it comes to how we heal, when it comes to how we're being called to heal as individuals. So they're kind of showing me once again the very mainstream society and their deemed appropriate avenues for healing. Well, this is the way you got to do it. This is the only way you're going to be able to heal yourself. This are the actions you need to take, right? Once again, we have a lot of set rules, society-wise, that tell us and dictate how we are to heal ourselves, how we are to move through our lives, how we're to eat, how we're to exercise. And this week, the universe is telling us to take our power back. Where do you need to take your own power back and listen to the wisdom that is your soul? So once again, where are we're shelling out our power to other people. We're shelling out our power to society and the way it's dictated how we are to live, how we're to have our health. And they're saying, look over the course of history and how health has changed. What was acceptable by society even 100 years ago to now, and how that has shifted. A lot of us couldn't even believe the things they did 100 years ago for health. That was detrimental, that didn't work, that made things worse, right? So think about that. Has society always had the answers? And have the answers always been right? Have they always been for the highest good of all? Right? Take your power back. How am I addressing my body? How am I addressing my health? Is it in alignment with who I truly am, with my values? Some of us need to get clarity. What are your values? What do you personally believe? How do you want to treat your body? Okay? So when it comes to healing, what avenues call you? And can you trust yourself and your intuition and the signs and synchronicities the universe sends you, because it's always talking to you about the path you're being called to take? Once again, the ego might go, oh, that'll never work. That's so outside my comfort zone. I've never done that before. Well, guess what? You're not here to live in your comfort zone, my friends. I'm sorry to tell you. You have to sometimes think outside the box that the ego has put you in to keep you safe in your familiar. If your familiar is not working, what's that definition of insanity? It's time to change the formula. So we have to strip back to the basics. How does my body feel? What is my body being called to do? How do I want to move every day? How do I want to eat every day? How do I want to nourish my soul, my mental health? What am I called to? And how can I just block out the external noise and listen to myself? How am I being called to participate in self-care? And how can I once more remove what other people are doing and listen to my own holy intuition? So from there, if you are dealing with health problems, what are they mirroring to you? Are your health problems mirroring to you what you really feel inside? What are you ignoring? It's time to face the truth and feel all of that hidden pain. Hold compassion. So this was really beautiful because once again, we're getting called back to what is loving. When you go to your truth, it is always what is most loving for you. So don't take one from the other. they coincide. They are each other's equal. Love and authenticity. So what's really interesting is this energy of holding compassion. A lot of us do not know how to do that. Okay? And that was what was coming through. I was like, well, how? How can we do that? Because a lot of us have no clue. We've never been trained in the ways of love and compassion. We've always been taught the opposite. What's most convenient for others? What do I need to do for everyone else? All of these programs. So what came through was create a space of acceptance. Give yourself permission to see yourself outside of the illusion that you have created. What if what you see isn't true? Question everything. Create new beliefs for your life. It's time to shine. So this was very interesting. So once again, we're getting awareness to how we view ourselves, what illusion we have in place. So once again, we might be looking through the lens, the distorted lens of our societal conditioning. Well, I'm not thin enough. I'm not fit enough. I'm not eating the way I should be, even though my body feels great the way I eat now. Or, oh, I need to fix this or fix that, right? So that's a distorted view of ourselves. So once again, what is the truth? Where do we need to hold space for ourselves to see ourselves in a different way and give ourselves permission to try that new pair of glasses? Okay, so once again, a lot of us are just still looking through that same lens of judgment, of hurt, of societal conditioning, and we're unwilling because we're to take those off, to change how we see, because it's what we know. But the universe is like, come on, if you just shift those lenses out, if you just put on your rose-colored glasses, the glasses of love, the views of love, oh my goodness, what could change for you? What goodness could come into your life? They're like, what do you have to lose? Right? What do you have to lose to change out your belief systems to ones that actually serve you, to belief systems that actually build you up and make you see yourself as you truly are? Is that so bad? To live a life of love? To have your foundations be love? Right? So question those beliefs you have about yourself. Question, what if the way I see myself isn't actually true? So how we can hold compassion for ourselves is once again taking a step outside of what we thought was true and differentiating what is. So create a space to really see yourself, not as how you've known, but as you want to be, right? So we need to choose our beliefs for life, and choosing these beliefs that allow us to love ourselves, that allow us to hold compassion and acceptance for ourselves, is going to be so transformative. So next, they suggested to help us cultivate compassion is gathering the evidence that you were loved. Okay, this is something that a lot of times our logical brains can start processing a little easier, right? We have to take these things in small steps, but gather the evidence that you are loved. Okay, so once more, what beliefs do you hold that carry no merit? What is true? What is real? And identify and align with your own singular truth. Expose all the lies that are still lingering. Now, this was interesting. They showed me these illusions of how we are viewing ourselves, these untruths, okay? They're suppressing your crown chakra. Once more, we have to have awareness. What is our crown chakra? Our crown chakra is what connects us to the divine. It is where we receive our intuitive downloads. It's how we connect to the oneness of all that is. And it's all about our beliefs. Our beliefs are in the crown chakra. So what beliefs are cutting you off and separating you from the unconditional love of the universe, of the unconditional love that you deserve to give yourself? What is suppressing your crown chakra from that beautiful, pure connection of oneness in your life? This belief system that is unloving, distorted, lies, is causing you to doubt even your divine connection. Right? So imagine if you heal your relationship with yourself, if you heal how you view yourself in that perspective, how do you think that's going to affect every other relationship in your life, including your relationship with the divine? And what's so powerful is where your relationship is with yourself right now. Is it mirroring the relationship you have with the universe currently? That you have with others currently? And one of the biggest things they're showing me that connects all is this core belief that a lot of us have, which is, I'm not good enough. Wow. What an eye-opening realization. Do you believe you're good enough to connect with the universe? Do you believe you're intuitive enough? You're connected enough? Can you believe that the universe loves you unconditionally, is going to show up for you every single time? And now, do you believe that when it comes to yourself? Do you believe you can show up for yourself every single time? Do you show up for yourself every single time? Do you unconditionally love yourself? Do you doubt your abilities? Do you doubt your worthiness? Wow. Do you doubt other people's love for you and their ability to connect with you? Wow. How powerful your beliefs are. So check yourself. What belief is severing me from a beautiful life filled with unconditional love? Filled with a reality, a future that could be so full of so much fulfillment and freedom. How can you shift this? Start taking these actions every day. Gather the evidence you were loved. Start writing a new story for yourself. And be mindful of the ego. It's time to steer clear of your comfort zone, to behold your own light and express your true self with this world. And this is going to change everything. This is going to change your entire experience of your human existence. You're going to welcome in every single thing that has ever been meant for you. You're going to have true relationships, true family, who loves you, who sees you, who values and appreciates you and shows up every time. Your relationship with the universe is going to be so profound, so connected, so powerful. You're going to experience what real oneness means. Can you imagine that? Can you, for 1 minute, imagine what that's going to feel like? Where there is no doubt in your mind that you are worthy, that you are lovable, that you are capable, that you are powerful and can create anything that is in alignment with your personal journey? Can you imagine the freedom you're going to experience when you claim your power back from the lies and illusions, society, and that conditioning and programming you've received is no more? Can you imagine the healing that you are going to experience? Not that you won't, you will. You are. It already is occurring by you stepping up and claiming your truth, by aligning your life to the ways of love. Imagine all the healing you're doing, the relief that's flooding through your body right now. I'm healed. I'm healing. I'm so capable. I am so loved. I'm a vessel of love itself. Can you imagine living your life as a vessel filled to the brim with unconditional love every single day? You are shaping that path right now. You are creating this destiny for yourself. And there's no turning back. Once you taste and see what a life of love is, there is no turning back. There is no way that you could go back to that past, to go back to the way you used to live your life, so parched of love. Once you've connected with that love, that's it. So make it your mission today, this very moment, and every moment forward. I am going to claim that love for myself. I'm going to choose it. I'm going to intentionally create it every minute of my life, because I don't want to waste my life anymore. I don't want to waste my life in the past. I don't want to waste my life on people and programming that only makes me hate myself, that only makes me feel less than, that makes me feel that I'm not connected, that I can't pursue my dreams. I'm ready to love myself. I am so ready to propel myself into a future, a life that deserves me. Feel that power. Drink it in. And every day, ensure that you take a sip, a gulp, a chug of that offering of love. Prioritize it, my friends. Please prioritize love every single day. Connect with it, feel it, breathe it. Because your life will never be the same. So, my friends, we are getting huge downloads of love this week. We are getting huge downloads on how we can claim our power, how we can succeed, how we can truly triumph in our lives. And it is up to you how you choose to move forward with this. But trust and know the universe is always working in your highest favor, in your highest good. And it's always supporting you, even if this is tough this week, even if the hurt and the pain you have to feel and the losses you need to mourn feel unbearable. Remember, this is the life you deserve, one of love. You don't deserve to feel this the rest of your life. What is most loving for you is to let this go, to feel it, to heal it, so you can really open up this new chapter of bliss. So be loving to yourself, be gentle with yourself, surround yourself with energies that support you. Please look after yourself so well. Be your own best friend. Show up every day. And I know you can do this. If you need support this week, please reach out. If you need comfort this week, please reach out. Know I'm always here for you. And I'm sending you so much love from the bottom of my heart. Have a beautiful and blessed week, my friends. Bye.